My name's Elliot, and welcome to Button Pushers. Hello and welcome back to the second ever episode of Button Pushers. A show about video games and video game related topics. Today's episode is going to be the focus of video game sequels and whether or not they are a good or a bad thing. To help talk about this topic today, I've invited my good friend and avid gamer, Sean, to the podcast. Welcome, Sean.
Hey.
So, Sean, to help hone the topic a little more, I thought we could focus on a game series we both have too much experience with.
I can imagine what it is.
As you can imagine, it's the Call of Duty series. Now, Sean, why don't you tell us a little bit about this series?
So, it's as of now, there have been around 17 Call of Duty games, with the earliest being released in 2003. What makes it such a noteworthy series is the fact that that after the second game, Call of Duty 2, came out, it became a yearly release.
Now, what do you mean, yearly release?
Well, every year a new Call of Duty would be released, thus a yearly release, which put the series into the public limelight with how extraordinary that was.
Now the big question here is, with the reality that quality video games usually taking up a lot longer than a year to make, as in development time, were these year releases technically still quality games in your opinion?
Well, from a business standpoint, ever since they started selling a new game, every year their sales go up considerably with a new edition.
Okay, but what about from a gamer's standpoint?
Well, I could say for sure that some of the games have been, subpar. Well, the main issue has been the fact that they've really been the same thing over and over again.
I can see what you're saying. As fun as the games are, it really is only running and gunning and killing guys. And don't get me wrong, that's fun, but it's repetitive. What do you think?
More or less, it's especially prevalent in the multiplayer aspect and some of the single-player campaigns.
If it's so much of the same thing, though, why do their sales keep rising, do you think?
Well, you said it yourself, it's fun. Plus, even if all the same old stuff with the constantly advancing graphics and game development, these newer games do look and feel better.
Interesting. So all in all, would you say these games still have some quality to them? Or are they just the same boring thing painted in a different color?
Honestly, it's a little bit of both. Some of the games are really good, like critically acclaimed Modern Warfare 2, but some of them aren't so much quality, like Call of Duty Ghosts and Advanced Warfare. You know, what is really great for fun, though?
What's that?
The Nazi Zombies game mode.
Oh, hell yeah. That is never not fun.
Since they've started Call of Duty World at War, every year they've had a constant story going, and all the Easter eggs and secrets make it fun. I mean, it got really big with Black Ops.
Personally, I love the newest version of Zombies in Call of Duty World War II because it's more like story progression, and there are objectives that you actually win in it, not just play for infinite rounds.
It's a lot harder, though.
Yeah, well, we really need to beat it sometime. Well, this has been the second episode of Button Pushers. Are the Call of Duty series strategies of releasing games yearly good? That's really up to you and how much merit you put on the game's originality and quality. Thanks for joining me today, Sean.
Anytime, boyo.
Next week, we're talking about society's perceptions of video games and the myth and stereotypes surrounding the concept. I'm Elliot, and this has been Button Pushers.